The proponents are Alexander Calma, myself, Charles Lim, Vincent Velasquez, and John Aldrich Relox.
For the introduction, newcomers to another place for the job, study, travel, etc. usually face the problem in finding services near to their location. Also, some users don't always get the meal for their budget or satisfactory services. Review websites have become a considerable source of information for consumers to determine the quality of products, service, local businesses, and dining experiences. According to Yang, services that make use of LBS technologies include safety and emergency, navigation, search application, e-commerce, and geotagging in social media, which also lists how the utilization of LBS can help further enhance the usage of food establishments. Finder applications such as KainSaan. Next slide. For the statement of the problem, majority feel that it is quite challenging to search for a good eating place to dine in. Most of the information shown in the World Wide Web are only returning the generic information queried by most of a typical person. Existing applications do not cover local food establishment. And lastly, lack of ways to discover new food establishments to dine in. Next slide.
Our general objective is to develop a user-friendly mobile and web application that automates the traditional process of finding food establishments in a particular area. Next slide. On to our specific objectives, KainSaan provides users a variety of choice of food establishment available in a particular area. KainSaan displays food establishment based on type of cuisine, category, estimated price, parking information, review rating, and location. KainSaan allows food establishment owners to add and update their food establishment information, to provide advertisers income information by generating a number of views and number of visit reports, and to evaluate KainSaan based on the ISO 25010 in terms of functionality, suitability, performance efficiency, compatibility, usability, reliability, security, maintainability, and portability. Next slide.
So for the implementation procedure. So after the tool defense, we applied the suggestions of the panel to the application, then conducted a test case. So here are the sample test case results that tackles each module of the application. So here is the reliability analysis that we use to measure the internal consistency of the instrument ISO 25010 that we also use to apply for the ethical clearance shown in the right is the approved ethical clearance form. So we prepared a short video presentation for the implementation procedure of KainSaan.
So I will be showing the implementation process of KainSaan. There are multiple ways we implemented KainSaan, such as online surveys, online meetings, and face-to-face. First is for the online surveys. We created and posted a PubMat calling for respondents. The PubMat has links to the survey questionnaire, demonstration, and contact information for those who like to request for the APK file of KainSaan. Here is the online demonstration video that we posted in YouTube for the participants to watch. It gathered a total of 103 views as of January 31. Here are the emails that requested for the APK file of KainSaan. For the online meetings, here are some of the screenshots in our online meetings. We demonstrated to the participants how the application works, what are its usage, how every feature works, and how does it help the users. We also answered clarification questions that came from the participants about the application. Then we gave the link for the survey questionnaire for them to answer. For the face-to-face implementation of KainSaan, here are the sample videos where the participants are testing the application. We first tackled what the study KainSaan is all about, such as introduction, statement of the problem, and objectives. Then after, we entertained any questions that the participant has. Secondly, we proceeded to demonstrate every feature of KainSaan, such as adding and updating of food establishments, filtering that will suit the user preference, review and rating a food establishment, the nearby feature with filters, and navigating to a food establishment. We also discussed about the reports that KainSaan generates, such as top trending and most visited food establishments, and also the number of views and number of visits an establishment has. Thirdly, we gave our user manual and a brief overview. Once again, we entertained any questions from the participant. Lastly, we let the participants register, use, and navigate through the application with small amount of guidance for the user to freely use the application. We entertain questions while they are using the application and even right after they are done testing the app. Once they are satisfied, they don't have any questions, we proceeded to giving them the survey questionnaire to the Google Forms. We also use Google Forms in the face-to-face implementation. For those people who doesn't have an internet or data connection, we provided a hotspot for the participants to use the app and answer the survey. So here is the Google Drive where we upload videos that we gathered from the face-to-face implementation. For the screenshots of the responses of the survey questionnaires. There are a total of 175 respondents. So first is the privacy consent. Second is the demographic profile of the respondent. Third is the survey instrument that is based on the ISO 25010 quality plan, which consists of the following characteristics: functional suitability, performance efficiency, compatibility, usability, reliability, security, maintainability, and portability. Lastly, these are the comments and suggestions of the respondents.
So for the results and discussions, to save up time, I will quickly run through each characteristic of the ISO 25010, then discuss the overall results. So for the functional suitability characteristic, it got a total mean score of 3.58 with a verbal interpretation of strongly agree. And for the performance efficiency, it got a total mean score of 3.51 with a verbal interpretation of strongly agree. And for the compatibility, it got a total mean score of 3.49 with a verbal interpretation of agree. For the usability, got a total mean score of 3.53 and with a verbal interpretation of strongly agree. For the reliability, it got a total mean score of 3.50 with a verbal interpretation of strongly agree. And for the security, it got a total mean score of 3.54 with a verbal interpretation of strongly agree. For the maintainability, it got a total mean score of 3.52 with a verbal interpretation of strongly agree. And lastly, for the portability, it got a total mean score of 3.52, which also has a verbal interpretation of strongly agree. So for the overall results of the ISO 25010 model, the characteristic functional suitability got the highest mean score with 3.58 and a verbal interpretation of strongly agree, stating that KainSaan provides functions that meets the implied needs when used under specified conditions. The overall evaluation of the application KainSaan has an overall mean of 3.52 and a verbal interpretation of strongly agree. With the overall mean score, it can be said that the application KainSaan passed the evaluation based on the ISO 25010 model. Also, the result satisfies and fulfills the requirements and features of the applications in accordance with the objectives of the study.
For the findings, functional stability. KainSaan meets stated and implied needs, covers all tasks, user objectives, and provides precise results, meeting the expectations of users for functional suitability. Performance efficiency. KainSaan's performance was evaluated relative to the amount of resources used. It showed efficient response processing times and throughput rates while performing its function. This implies that KainSaan meets the user's expectations in terms of performance efficiency, compatibility. KainSaan trades information for goods, systems, or parts. It functions as required in a shared software or hardware environment, meeting compatibility expectations but with potential for enhancement. Usability. KainSaan is an effective, efficient, and satisfying tool that is easy to learn and operate. Its user interface enables pleasing interaction and meets user expectations for usability. Reliability. KainSaan is an application that has been designed to meet the needs of its users. It is operable and accessible when required for use, ensuring that users can access it without experiencing any technical difficulties or downtime. Security. KainSaan is designed to ensure that data is only accessible to authorized individuals. The application is equipped with security features that prevent unauthorized access to sensitive data. Maintainability. KainSaan can be modified to improve, correct, or adapt it to changes in the environment and requirements. The application can be updated or customized as necessary to better meet the needs of its users. Portability. KainSaan is an application that can be easily transferred from one hardware, software, or operational environment to another. The application is designed to be flexible and adaptable. It can effectively and efficiently be adapted for different or evolving hardware or software. Overall, KainSaan has been successful in meeting the needs and expectations of its users, as demonstrated by the responses that the respondents have made. The application provides users with functional, efficient, compatible, usable, reliable, secure, maintainable, and portable features that make it an effective tool for carrying out a variety of tasks. These features of KainSaan ensure that the application is able to provide users with the functionality and flexibility they need to work efficiently and effectively. For the conclusion, the results of the study provide important information regarding the effectiveness of the application in meeting the needs and expectations of its users. Therefore, we can conclude that for the first objective, KainSaan successfully provided the needs of users in finding a place to dine in by providing features that allows users to discover food establishments such as displaying top trending food establishments, displaying most visited food establishment, and recommending food establishments based on the user profile. For the second objective, KainSaan successfully provided the need of displaying food establishment based on the type of cuisine, category, estimated price, parking information, review rating, and location by adding filter feature that allows users to sort or display the food establishments based on the user's preferences. For the third objective, KainSaan successfully provided the needs of for the fourth objective, sorry. For the third objective, KainSaan successfully provided the needs of food establishments of food provided the needs of food establishment owners to add and update their respective food establishments by allowing food establishment owners to adapt to other food establishment information such as type of cuisine, category, estimated price, parking information, location, and menu. For the fourth objective, KainSaan successfully provided the needs for advertiser income by providing number of views and number of visits a food establishment has, which is shown in the application and in the admin side. And lastly, for the fifth objective, the evaluation of the application KainSaan using the ISO 25010 quality model, the characteristics, functional suitability, performance efficiency, usability, reliability, security, maintainability, and portability scored a verbal interpretation of strongly agree, and the characteristic compatibility scored a verbal interpretation of agree. Therefore, KainSaan is acceptable and can still be improved in the characteristic compatibility with the most of the respondent commented to have an availability in the iOS operating system.
So for the recommendations. So the proponents have formulated several recommendations based on the data gathered from the respondents and the findings of the study. So we recommend to add for the user interface, we recommend to add a feature that allows food establishment owners to have their own custom color or theme. Secondly, we recommend to add a dark theme feature to make it more user-friendly since the application also acts as a navigation system and some people may find it uncomfortable to navigate with the current line theme of KainSaan. For the compatibility. So since the compatibility characteristic had the lowest score among all the other characteristics, we recommend to develop the application using cross-platform frameworks or technologies like Flutter or React Native to make the application available both in Android and iOS. This was suggested by IT experts and users that evaluated the application. For the requirement feature, so we recommend to add a feature that lets users suggest food establishments to other users. Secondly, we recommend to add a good finds feature to allow users to vote for a food establishment and that will be displayed for other users to see and discover. Lastly, we recommend to add a chat feature that allows users to interact with other users. And for the navigation feature, we recommend to add alternative directions that users may choose from. instead of the existing features that applies the Dijkstra's algorithm in finding the shortest path. Use other algorithms in solving the shortest path problem and suggest the directions to the users. This recommendation was also suggested by IT experts that evaluated the application. With all of these recommendations, the application KainSaan can surely continue to improve and become even better that will help its users attend to their needs with ease and will ensure its continued success and user satisfaction. So thank you. We are now ready for your comments, questions, and suggestions.
Okay, nominates. Okay. Very good presentation, no? Yun. So I commend you for good yung presentation na nakita ko. Kasi na pinakita niyo talaga yung inyong objective tapos yung particular conclusion. So binangga niyo siya kaya maganda yung presentation. And then yung mga recommendations, okay din na pinpoint niyo naman or na-itemize niyo naman na maayos yung mga recommendations, no, based dun sa mga naging suggestions din and saka sa naging result ng conclusion nyo. So, verify ko lang, ano yung profile ng respondents natin?
So, may tatlo po kaming respondents po na nag-evaluate po ng application. So, first po is the food establishment owners po, nearby tourist spots po sa Rizal province. And the second is for customer or tourist po. So, yung customer and tourist po namin is ginawa po namin sa students, fourth year students of BSIT na lang po para na may dining experience po. Then, third is the IT experts po. So, ayun po, yung tatlo po namin respondents.
Okay po. So, yun. So, yung mga profile of respondents nyo ay basically sila naman talaga yung fit to evaluate your system.
Yes po.
Pero nung nag-survey kayo or nagpa-evaluate kayo dun sa mga food establishment within Rizal, how about yung mga customer, hindi nyo ba trinay na rin sila?
Tinry po namin.
Nila.
Kasali din po yun sa sa category po na customer or tourist. Bale, yung mga tao po nagre-reside or may permanent address po doon sa Rizal, kasama din po yun sa customer or tourist po na profile.
Kasi sabi mo kanina, BSIT 4th year students. So, halo, BSIT 4th year students as well as yung mga client dun sa nearby, yes, yung mga food establishments in Rizal.
Yes po.
Okay, so yun lang po, very good naman yung presentation na kumbaga na klaro siya, no? Kaya wala akong masyadong questions. Thank you po.
Thank you po.
Right, pwede na tayo mag-photo off. Can you stop sharing your screen? And let's have the picture. Ano po ba tayo? Working lunch or lunch break? Para I can call the next group kung working lunch.
Okay po, ma'am. Picture lang po.
Picture na daw.
Okay, smile po. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, isa pa po. 3, 2, 1. Thank you.
Okay, goodbye,
po.
group.
Thank you,
Group A.
ma'am.
Thank you
Let's
po.
see.
Thank you, ma'am.
We'll just
Thank you
talk
po.
later and wait for